The Dis Organ Festival returns. This is a super event bringing 50 different mechanical musical instruments across the town, a picturesque setting. We're with the continental headliner. This is the Blauwe street organ from Fabian Krul, who's driven all the way from Leiden in the Netherlands. How many kilometres?
Yeah, how many kilometres? 120, but it's very close for me. The ferry takes a long time.
The ferry, of course, so the overnight ferry. It makes things better.
That's what we're doing. But it's nice weather in the front of the cathedral over here in St. Mary. Yeah, the people like it over here.
It is a completely free event for the public, organised by volunteers. A lot of the organ owners are here on their own time and with their own money, so we do appreciate all those who support us. Now tell us about this street organ, the Blauwe.
Yeah, that street organ, yeah, I loved it as a small boy from 13 years old. And I have never the money for buy it. And then I ask all the time on the owner, I said, sell it to me. I said, no, not for sale, not for sale. And on the day he rang me up and we do a swap and he said, yeah, Fabian, if you do it and you keep it your life, then you have a nice thing. Now I do restoration work on it and I'm very pleased every day that I had it.
It's a favourite of many, and you've got a lot of organs in your collection, you and your family.
I've a lot of organs in my collection, but this is an organ. There's only 2 in private collection in our country. It's a 90 key Frei scale organ, and that's my thing.
Your favourite?
That's one of my favourites.
It's like choosing a favourite child, isn't it? Never ask an organ owner which his favourite instrument is, I suppose.
No,
but
it's always the same, eh?
Yeah.
You never say that your own child is nothing.
So this particular organ, it's playing beautifully. Fabian's come a long way to present it to us here at Dis. Enjoy the music.
And there it's coming. We play the wheel, eh? Come on!
Whoa. So here at the Dis Organ Festival, instruments of all sizes, even ones that fit in a car boot. I'm with Colin Rowe, a specially built instrument for your car, Colin?
Well, I built the instrument first and then found a car to fit it.
So it's the organ came first, then the car, and it does, it only just goes in. This particular organ was built from a kit of parts that you purchased.
Yeah, from the late Pell. I bought a kit of parts, had to put it together again, and link it all up and build a case for it.
And why an organ of this size?
It's the largest I could afford at the time.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's ideal. You don't need a trailer. There's no worries about storage. No. Does it live in your house?
It does, in the bedroom.
Yeah. Well, there you go. See, we've got to find ways. That I've got an organ like that at home in my kitchen, so I can't,
music while you play.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you what, it's all there. Well, Enjoy is a beautiful instrument, Alan Pell, put together by you. How many notes?
66 pipes.
And I believe you're going to play a familiar tune.
It's a 31 key film, Captain Pugwash.
The Dis Organ Festival attracts instruments from all over the continent. Well, Hendrik, you come from a long way. Where in Holland?
Yes, we came all the way from Harderwijk, smack in the middle of Holland.
Fantastic.
Netherlands, to be official.
So we're really, really happy that you bought this super instrument. Tell me about the Impala street organ.
Thank you. Well, this is Impala. I bought it myself in 2018. And during the COVID years, I used it quite a bit. But it was in need of some maintenance, so I decided to restore it under the guidance of some professional organ builders in Netherlands, and they helped me out a lot. And I gave some stuff, some stuff to do, and I did most of it myself, and improve the organ and just use it on the streets and try and make people happy as I go along.
It does play very happy music, and this is really compact for the sound that comes out of it. There's a lot crammed in there, here, there and everywhere.
Yes, it is. It's got really big bass pipes. You don't see them, but they're folded twice around the underside of the organ, which is enormous for the instrument that it is. And I've added some extra bits, added some pipe works, changed the drums, make it more authentic, make it more original.
Yeah.
And of course, there's always the music. You want as much music as you can.
Oh yeah.
Which is the sport.
What about the music? Just show the camera there. So we've got here the tune that he's about to play. Pull it out. Let's have a look.
Ain't That a Kick in the Head from Dean Martin.
So holes in the card. Yes. The organ can read the holes and tell what notes it needs to play. You can see in the back here we got bellows going up and down and a reserver there in the top to make sure the organ performs nicely. Right, let's hear some music. Oh, yeah. Come on, let's go. I'm here with Jeremy Brice from the British Organ Grinders Association, a society that helps out the owners of these wonderful instruments. Tell me about British Organ Grinders Association.
British Organ Grinders Association formed in 1990. Well, the concept was first floated in 1991 by Peter Churchyard, who's sadly no longer with us. We lost him quite a few years ago. But the society didn't actually get off the ground until Easter 1992, so we're 33 and a bit years old now.
And it seems to be very healthy membership at the minute. A lot of people have these sort of sized instruments.
Oh yeah, we're fortunate. We're actually one of the societies that is gradually increasing membership rather than shedding them, which we're very thankful for. And I think that's partly because Peter Churchyard's aim was always that we should be, sort of like one big family. So an offshoot of that is on the stand next to us, sort of Shirley's fund, which is our welfare fund. So sort of it's there to support members in good times and bad. So significant birthdays, they they get something. If they're hospitalised, they get something. And sadly, if we do lose a member, then we make a sort of memorial payment to whichever charity they choose.
Brilliant stuff. Well, it's great. This particular instrument, a 25-note Pell. How long have you had this?
I've had this since 2017, so 6 years now.
And it gives a great account of itself for the size.
Yeah. They're very versatile little instruments. I did have a role player before, which I do miss. I do miss it. I admit it. But this is a MIDI organ, and it does have its advantages.
Yes, absolutely. And you'll notice as well when you watch the video, Jeremy is pulling out a stop on the side of the organ, which brings on another rank of pipes. So enjoy some music. What are we going to play?
Let's face the music and dance.
Sounds good to me. I'm here with Keith Emmett, who's bought this spectacular instrument. This is the UK headliner of the Dis Organ Festival. Fantastic instrument. And the Emmett family, you might know the name. For many years they've been presenting various fairground attractions up and down the country. Tell us about this particular instrument, how your family came to own it.
This organ, actually, we was at an exhibition over 41 years ago in the Olympia, and a guy called Lunds Tivoli, he come over to my father and he wanted to part exchange an amusement ride, and he sat there and put 3 or 4 rides down. Then all of a sudden he got this organ out, and my dad said, listen, sit down. And then he went 1 week later, went off to Norway and purchased it, took it in part exchange, and it's been in the family ever since.
And it's your favourite one?
It's a favourite one. It's one organ out of many that Dad found, and from many organs, and this organ here is one of the only ones that he really wanted to keep.
Yeah, and it is, I think it's probably the loudest instrument here at the festival, and it's really going to turn heads.
Yes, so I think it will.
Let's hear it. They're going to start it now.
Will do it. Thank you.
It's incredible to walk up through the park and see this set of Gallopers built up, ready to entertain people. Here at the Disorgan Festival, Martin Lowe's has bought the Golden Gallopers. And how long has this been in your family?
So we've had it 16 years now, James, was when we bought it. So obviously originally built in 1885 in King's Lynn. So spent a great deal of its life in Scotland with a couple of owners. And now back in East Anglia again.
And you literally built this up late last night, and you'll be taking it down again tonight, late on. One day event.
Yeah, it's all good fun, isn't it? We pulled on last night at 4 o'clock, and we were built up for 8 o'clock last night, so we had a good little build up. Close at 5 tonight, and hopefully we'll be on the road before 9 o'clock.
It's quite a commitment to bring something like this for just one day, and 4 hours, that is probably as quick as you could build up something like this, is it?
Yeah, I mean, if we're in a real rush, we could be 3 hours, but you need to be. We don't do that too often.
Well, thanks for bringing it. Credit to you. And this particular organ in the centre is an old Verbeeck organ.
Yeah, this is one of the 61 key Verbeecks, which I think there's only 5 or 6 built by Johnny Verbeeck, 1922. Currently it's playing on a 65 key Pell scale on MIDI at the moment, but the intention is in a couple of years' time to try and get it back to original 61 key scale with a keyframe back on it, as well as an option of MIDI. Alright, so
scream if you want to go faster. Let's hear the organ and see the ride in action. Here at the Disorgan Festival, you'll see many old instruments. So there's a few organs on site that are what we call replica organs. They're very, very good imitations of traditional, good old-fashioned fairground organs. We're standing by one of the triumphs of the moment. Mark Rawlins has built this incredible instrument. I mean, tell us, how did you even start attempting to build something like this, Mark?
Well, I had a lot of help from Andrew Whitehead and Barnaby Newton, who's on site as well. And we just started from the floor up, really, with a few drawings from measurements of other organs.
can you calculate how many hours you've put into this project?
Not in hours, I can tell you exactly in time.
Yeah.
We started it on the 25th of January 2016 and it went to its first rally in June 2019.
Wow, that's quick, isn't it?
That was done, yeah. And it was in the trailer as well. We done the trailer as well. And then we done the big do at Dorset, as you know, you were there.
And obviously now it's a case of titivating and adding things and sort of changing what you got, really.
Just tidying everything
Refining
up now. Absolutely tidying it up, yeah.
Yeah, are you happy with how it's sounding?
It's sounding lovely at the moment, yeah. We've had a lot of help the last few weeks tuning and things, and it's playing very well.
Yeah, credit to you, incredible achievement. Anyone that attempts to build something like this, I cannot tell you the amount of parts and things there are to consider. It really is a feat of engineering, so congratulations to you, Mark, and all the people who've helped you.
Yeah.
Real credit, and an instrument that in theory is new, but you look at it, you think it's, you know, one of those from years ago, so enjoy it. We're with Stuart Nightingale with one of the more unusual exhibits on site. We've got a dance organ, which would be traditionally found, I suppose, in a Belgian cafe years ago. This particular instrument, how did you come to get to end up having it?
My late uncle bought it from George Marsh, who imported it in I think it was the late 80s or mid to late 80s. And Uncle Wal always fancied the organ, and then when Christine decided she'd like one of the smaller, more modern Decaps, this came available, and Uncle Walter said, yes please, I would like to have it. So unfortunately he passed away a couple of years ago now, but we're now in our custody, so we keep the toys all running and going as long as we possibly can, but thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah,
keep us out of mischief and keep us poor as usual, but that's the part of it. But
it sounds wonderful, and what you got to imagine is you know, you see a lot of these instruments with cardboard books. Well, this has got a wheel of music. In fact, it's got two. We got a spare one here, so it means continuous play. It can go round. How long does a wheel last, you reckon?
Roughly about 75 minutes.
Really?
And I'm trying to collect some more, so when a few come up, we're near enough, got quite enough for them to make another reel, so
you've got plenty there. Yeah. No, it's all good fun.
This was done for a reason. When we got the steam engines, everyone, you say, oh, I'll look after the organ for you, then all of a sudden they'd all disappear off and have a wander around the show, and you're sitting there on the showman's engine covered in muck thinking, hang on a minute, I've got to try and put another book through here yet. So having seen that, we thought that'd be a good idea, and sat there, and dear Mr. Pilmer, when he rebuilt the organ for us in about 1996, 97, he managed to accumulate all some bits and pieces and managed to put a reel, make it into a reel, and we've been adding to it ever since.
Oh, brilliant. So enjoy it. A 105 key dance organ, the Cats. I'm here with Jonathan Ling, who is, well, basically the guy that's made the Dis Organ Festival happen. And it all began several years ago with a friend of yours, Alan Smith.
It did, James, yes. Our good friend Alan Smith, coming back from the Gerardsbergen Organ Festival back in 2016, we decided we ought to have a festival at home to bring people into our hometown and celebrate all the wonderful world of mechanical music.
And this has been an incredibly popular event. I mean, it brings, thousands every year. Quite amazing, really, to have an event like this in the UK that's a free sort of day out for all the family.
Yes, no, we're very lucky that the public have supported the event, and it's nice to see just general public coming along and appreciating our mechanical organs and things. People who not necessarily would go to a steam rally or something like that would come through the town and see all the wonderful world.
Now, Johnny owns the Grange Musical Collection, which is just down the road from where we are here in Dis. They do monthly open days, theatre organ concerts, and there's all sorts of mechanical instruments there. This is one of the collection. This particular instrument, tell us about it, Johnny.
So this is a Pluer street organ, which was originally built for Ian Crisp in 2000. That was his retirement present, and I purchased the organ sadly after Ian passed away in 2020. So, and it's one of my favourite organs to take out.
Well, we've come here to St Mary's Church in Diss. Me and my friend are looking forward to seeing an organ recital thanks to the concert organist David Ivory.
Thank you.
Normally playing theatre organs.
Normally playing Wurlitzers and Comptons and rising up out of the pit and doing all that sort of thing, yes.
What do you think you're going to do on the church organ then?
We're going to have tuneful music. You can't really do beside the seaside because it would sound awful.
All right, well, we're both looking forward to seeing it. So there's a packed church, the aisles are full in there, so we're looking forward to having some music. Good luck, David.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed some of the sights and sounds here from the Dis Organ Festival. Organiser Johnny Ling joins us. Some closing thoughts, Johnny. A lot of people that have helped.
Wow, yes, no, it's been a wonderful, wonderful time, and I'm really pleased with the support that I get from the societies and things like the Mechanical Organ Owners Society and the British Organ Grinders Association. There's many clubs and things that all come together here with people coming from Scotland, from the Netherlands, our friends, our good Dutch friends. So yes, I'm very lucky to have such good support and help from the Town Council and all the other people who have helped, Triangle Trust and things. Yeah, so it's all come together nicely.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Johnny, for all you and other volunteers have done at the Dis Organ Festival to put it on. If you want to find out more about the event, you can visit the official website, which is disorganfestival.co.uk. And if you want some music, some more music, and to learn more about the organs, have a little look at mechanicalmusicradio.com. They've got a free app in the App Store. They play happy music 24 hours a day. Annoy the neighbours.
Hey,
Lovely.
Thank you, James, and thank you to Mechanical Music Radio as well for all your support and hard work that you do.
You're very welcome. Super event. I hope you've enjoyed watching at home.